where I'm going, you can't come. It's too far. A place where niggas so fly they don't use cars. Catch me up at the juice bar, chillin' with two bras. Somewhere in Amsterdam like I'm Howard and Kumar.
So when you see a nigga pimpin', you know I'm looking fly. Looking fly. I walk around in the caddy, you know I'm looking fly. Looking fly. International, worldwide, baby, you know I'm fly. You know I'm fly. Stay NY till I die, you know I'm fly. You know I'm fly. You know I'm
Bombay Hot Radio.
You know what it is. We're not on Bombay Hot Radio today, we're on London Hot Radio, but you know my trademarks. It don't stop. We keep it going. Big shout out to everyone on London Hot Radio, by the way. Big shout out to everyone I use on Hot Radio. Hey, summertime, you messed it up. 3 months of madness. I wish I could be out there, but too much happening out here. Now, big up to Siggy D, by the way. Big shout out, and Uncle Drummer. Alright, now, I got the man in the building. He needs no introduction, but I'm gonna say a few words because, you know, like, wait, 1 minute. We're gonna have to say this properly because, like this man, probably since the age of, 13, 14, growing up, trying to make sure I catch Choice FM to record this dude's mixes and shows on a tape. A lot of you don't know what a tape is right now, but look, a lot of these dudes don't even know what a CD is anymore. They know what a USB drive is, you know. So, alright, the man himself, DJ 279, is in the building. What's happening, man?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
I'm trying to hype this up, bro. I'm trying to be like, yo.
Well, you know, I'm not really a hype character.
Really?
I kind of believe that if you got to spend too much time hyping things up, then it probably ain't that hype.
I hear you, but it's about the energy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's all good. Yeah. What we're gonna say now is, like, big shout to you and your career and everything you have done for hip hop, first of all. And nobody out there can deny your contribution to the game and to UK hip hop, you know, because UK hip hop, a lot of people weren't promoting it. And you stepped up and were promoting people like Black Twang in the beginning. And that changed a lot, you know. Not only that, you took these guys and you put them on shows. You called big heads from abroad and you made these people merge with these people. Out of all that time you had, because you've had a long time in the game, what is like the one sickest memory that you can say just stands out and that was like 279's moment?
I don't really have one memory. I'm much more like, if I go back to the beginnings of starting on the radio, it was much more about what I observed, being an avid radio listener, and what I believed needed to be there that wasn't there. And I felt that, to a degree, a lot of the UK artists possibly didn't get the kind of platforms that I felt that they should have got. So therefore I decided that if I ever got a chance to get on, that I would try to do something about that, and I would try to create more of an even playing field, if you like. So it wasn't fashionable for DJs to be kind of supporting the homegrown, but I didn't really care about that. I just done what I believed in, and that's, you know, so my moment will always be doing what I believed in, and that encompasses a lot of smaller things. But it's about the mission statement, and the mission statement was to change the way things were. You know, I'm proud to say that I can sit back now and during the journey and notice how things have changed, see certain people that were little embryos at the beginning explode onto the scene and do really well internationally and nationally, and you know, that was my calling, so that's the path I followed.
I know for a fact, like, during the journey, there had to be numbers of different obstacles and barriers in your way, you know, and just opening them doors for the music that you did in the UK, like how difficult was it really? Because some people don't understand. Like, some people think that you put in a position, and because you've been put in that position, you can do whatever you want. They don't understand there's always like compromise, and there's always, you know, like how difficult was it really to make people understand what you wanted to do?
All right, let's go back. When you start off on pirate radio, pretty much you kind of have a free hand to do what you want. When I met Steve Wren, he really was the guy who allowed me to even enter into the Choice FM doors, so shout out to him. He was, you know, at the beginnings of his own kind of career as a hip-hop DJ. We actually met at a club in Kent where I was DJing, and you know, he said to me, look, I'm going to have this show starting on Choice, you know, you should come and be a part of the show. Now, me being me, I'm not really somebody who likes to ride off anyone's coattails. I'm the kind of guy who likes to go out and make it happen himself. So I actually declined many times, you know, to his approaches, just because I wanted to make my own lane. And funnily enough, there used to be a record store on Streatham High Road called Bluebirds.
I remember
and he used to work in there sometimes, and I must have gone in there to purchase my music, as always. And he came out the store this time, and he said, look, man, I know you want to do your own thing, but what you got to see is everybody needs a starting point, and you can't do it on your own. You got to get to know people in the game. You know, you need to kind of find a way to kind of be in there. You know, by coming to Choice, you learn more about radio, about presenting, and how the inner mechanics work. And I walked away from that, and I thought, you know what? He said to me, look, come down on Friday. Just come and check it out. And I did, and I sort of never looked back. I had a great time. It was fun. It was exciting. You know, the music was fun and exciting. And yeah, I just gravitated toward, like, yeah, this is it. Okay, so mine and Steve's personalities were quite different, because I'm a very single-minded, very focused on where I'm trying to get to type of person. I'm not loud, as by the beginning of this interview. I'm not a bragger. I'm not somebody who likes to talk. I'm somebody who likes his work to speak. So I say, listen, we need to do A, B, and C. And at the time, he wasn't in a position to do all of those things. So I said, I will fund these things, because I believe this is what you need to do, and what I need to do, and what we need to do to move forward. Part of that was trying to embrace the scene at the time. I'd had a pirate show before, so I actually had a few connects with some people. I said we needed to start a club night. We needed to have an open mic. We need to draw these people out from their homes and their bedrooms into an arena where they could be amongst like-minded people. And that was the beginnings of Flavour of the Month, which obviously, you know, people who know me know is something I've done for a long time. So those club nights and those open mics and those PAs, I wouldn't say they gave birth to a lot of people, but they definitely helped bring a lot of people together. And out of that, a lot of them flourished. Do you know what I mean? Their names are countless. Right. And that, you know, it is like the beginnings of trying to put something in place where you were in a situation to help people get noticed. So now it's about getting the respect of the people and hoping that they recognise what you're trying to do. And fortunately, they responded to that, because there was a whole scene out there that didn't really have a home. Now, there were other DJs on the scene. I'm not saying they didn't do anything, but even though it was Steve's show at the time, I was in the background kicking doors in and making noise and going out and spreading the word, which I still do today. I have no problem with that. And I just went out there like, listen, if you want it to be different, you need to come to this, be a part of it. When the open mic's there, grab the mic, do your thing. And so people just started to come, and it just grew and grew, and it became this place that, you know, if you was about this hip hop thing, you needed to go on a regular basis. You know, we had everything from MC battles to DJ battles. Lots of people will probably say they did their first open mic or their first PAs there. And that was the mission statement, to try to change even people's own perceptions about the people around the way. Because it was so America focused that we needed some balance. And that was it.
For sure. And right, you did, because you brought in a lot of names through the door, and a lot of names are credited today to have accomplished where they got to in UK hip hop due to you. Now,
I don't, hold on. I don't.
No, I'm not saying their whole credit. Don't
what I would say.
No,
what I would say is this. The artists are on the come up are always hungry to get in. They all are looking for a way in. And I think at that point, a lot of people didn't really have the dedication and desire that it takes to go meet some guy down in the studio, come down to the radio station, spend an hour listening to demos, or taking cassettes and whatever and actually listening to them. You know, it takes dedication. So I don't feel like they owe it to me. I think that I was just somebody who was embracive of the people that were there at the time.
Yeah, sorry, get me wrong.
No.
All I was trying to say is you created, though, a door for them to go through and left it open. So that's a huge thing, because in this day and age in society, especially in UK music in general, like the doors that are open are not, I mean, there's not enough people creating doors. You know, people try to create doors, but they're always locked off. So you did that. Can I make this a little bit, I can keep it fun, right? I can keep it fun,
sure,
right?
Man.
Okay, first of all, the whole hype thing at the beginning, you weren't dissing me, that weren't a little stab at me, was it? I'm joking.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm joking.
Like I said, you got to look at a lot of people who spend so much time trying to hype things up. It's like sometimes you just need to do that.
It's the energy, like I said.
I've got the energy when necessary.
Secondly, yeah?
This is serious.
Do you remember the times when you couldn't have your little, like, what you had to take to the club, yeah, your materials? You couldn't have it in your pocket. Do you remember them times?
No,
you had to carry them big ass, heavy record boxes. Okay, today in music, a lot of people don't understand the hard work it took to actually be a DJ in the 90s. You know, a lot of people take things for granted.
Absolutely.
You know? And, like, I feel that because of that, the game has got lazy in general. You hear what I'm saying? A little bit more.
Yeah.
But I know that you probably have a balance, so can you give me like a few things that you think are good about today's technology, and you know what I mean, for DJs, and what's bad about it? I mean, what was good back then? Well, like, I enjoyed carrying the record boxes. Yeah. I miss it.
First of all, I would say anybody who doesn't embrace technology will ultimately become a dinosaur. And we all know what happened to the dinosaurs. So you got to embrace technology. I do agree with you that back in those days, trying to be a DJ was very expensive, because you never knew when you were going to get your chance to play, and whenever you did, you had to have the music to be able to rock the party. You know, so that meant constantly going out buying music, probably spending way more than
$6.99 a promo, by the way. $6.99.
Or more. You know what I'm saying? So you had to be dedicated enough to spend that money every week to make sure you had all the latest tunes, so that when you went out, you could rock the party. And that was the only way that you were going to get a chance, you know, to go further. Obviously now, with the download age, the most time you got to spend is looking for a download. So I do think that possibly people don't appreciate the music the way they used to as a result of that, because once you got it, you didn't pay for it. You know, I remember buying albums and you would go home, you'd read the shout outs, you'd open it up, you know. You took a real interest in that group, that music, that project. And so you knew it inside out. Today, a download, you know, it's only recently that we got photos attached now. You know, and people are just, they take it for granted. That's the way it is. So in terms of what's good about technology now, is obviously the more work you put into your Serato, for example, just means that you can be in a party and you can rock it and you can change it and adapt to who says what or who asks for what or how the party needs to go. Whereas before, when you just had your records, you pretty much had to make a decision about what you thought you were going to do and then hope that you could go and pull it off. The more records you bought, the more flexibility you had. Now with Serato, you know, you got 5,000-10,000 songs. Pretty much anything anyone asks for that's decent, you probably got it. And so that helps. You don't have to break your back. You know, you can find it easily. Got some advice.
Can I say something else while you're here as well? Between when the times were good to now. Most DJs nowadays, they actually download MP3s and play it in the club. Whereas back then, people used to play the CD or the vinyl. And the quality of the music through the speakers was so much more enhanced than what you're getting now.
Absolutely.
And it's crazy that technology has gone so far, but then out the speakers, the technology or the enhancement's getting less. And most of the public are satisfied with that.
I don't even think they're satisfied. I think they don't understand it. Most people, I know people who are artists and they'll send me like a 128 kilobyte MP3, and when I send it back to them, like, get me a wife, they're like, but it sounds alright. I'm like, nah, man. And I've literally had to explain to loads of people, you are actually, and if you're an artist, take this in, you're spending money to record your music in a really good studio with nice, crisp, clean vocals. Then you're going to go and mix it. Then you're going to go and master it, all of which costs money. And then you're going to compress the quality out of it and send it out as an MP3. What's the point? You might as well not bother mixing it down. Because that is the result.
Completely. You know what? I'm going to play a quick joint. And we're going to come right back with 279. And there is so much more to talk about. So everyone sit back, chill out, listen to this, and we're going to be right back with you.
Bombay Hot Radio.
Bombay Hot Radio. Yeah.
Me and my boo, you know how I do.
Alright, we're back. Just sitting here kicking out with 279. You know how it does. 279, just for the people that don't know, you know, because there's a lot of new fans, hip-hop fans, and a lot of old school hip-hop fans. The name 279, where did that come from?
That's a long story, man.
Really?
Basically, everybody's got a name. If you've got a name, you don't want your name to be another name that anybody's got. You want something that's yours, that when someone else tries to be like you, people are like, nah. Anyway, I've got the whole 279 thing from Chinese numerology. It is quite in depth and probably quite boring to listen to, but it has a meaning and it is very much something I encompass in my daily goings-ons as a reminder. You know what I mean? So I never give it away because people always ask me. I never tell them exactly, but
I thought it was like your bus route or something.
No, I've heard all those ones. The bus route, you know, your door number or something to do with your date of birth. Or, it's far more complex than that.
Alright, so
yes.
To the thing that a lot of people are probably listening and waiting to hear, you know what I mean? Like, and probably the reason for why a lot of people as well to more off the website are going to share this and like Choice FM. You know, that is, well, it's Choice FM, you know, and you have been the hip hop landmark of Choice FM for a long time, and
Absolutely.
Since how can I put this nicely?
You have to put it nicely.
Since your departure of
Put it
279.
how it is.
Yeah, so since your departure, I'm gonna let you say whatever you have to say, but since your departure of 279, I mean of Choice FM, and your time to reflect, like, what is the outcome in your mind of where you're at today and where you want to go tomorrow? Like, because I personally think there's so many lanes for you and there's so much opportunities and it's crazy. There's 279's a brand, and you know. So, what do you think about the scenario?
Well, okay, so we have to start at the beginning of this little exercise, I suppose, because not everybody will know. But obviously, I got told last week Friday that my contract wasn't going to be renewed at the radio station. And to be honest with you, that's the business, it's life. Nothing is guaranteed. And so, as a result of knowing that, I don't take things for granted. You know, I've done my best for them, I worked hard, and I did good. I think I did good. But you know, someone decided that it was time for me to go. So, reflecting, ain't no need to reflect, because I wasn't half-stepping. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is, which is you just got to move on. In terms of how it's done, I know that's been a talking point, and yeah, I'd have to concede that probably a little bit reckless / we don't care what you did for us in the past. But once again, that's the game. Not everybody is going to show you that love for the things that you do. It's just on to the next one, and you've played your role, and now we've got someone else to play your role, and that's life. So I'm not bitter and twisted and mad and angry. I don't even do that. Something happens, you dust yourself off, and you continue. And that's
And you know,
yeah. I say this to a lot of people. In your life, there will be lots of things that will happen to you that you will not like. But what some people do, especially a lot of my younger brothers, you walk around with the effects of that on your back like a tortoise shell. And every time something happens, you put another tortoise shell on your back and another one. And before you know it, you can't move where you want to move because you've got too many restrictions on your back to stop you from, you know, being able to express yourself. Some people become introverts. Some people become bitter and twisted, or you know, they can't appreciate someone else's success because they're not happy that it's not theirs. Don't let these things cloud your vision. You just got to take it on board and move on, and leave the tortoise shell behind. Imagine if you've got too many tortoise shells, you know, you could be the fastest 100-meter sprinter. It's going to slow you down. So that's how I look at things. You know, I'm not mad. It's like, you know what, happened, and you just got to move on and just deal with it. At this point, what's going to happen in the future, nobody knows. Obviously, the response and the reaction out there, I don't know, I've said it in print before, I am hugely a bit mystified and a little bit humbled by all the things that people have written, because I'm the kind of person that I do something, I believe in it, I've got my vision looking straight ahead, and I'm not stopping every 10 paces to get a pat on the back or turning around going, okay, do I get some adulation? It's just not my character. So now this has happened, obviously, I don't know, I guess people feel they needed to say something, so I read them all and I'm like, wow. You know, this last week has been like being in like some kind of a soap opera, and you're the star in the middle of it, the controversial one, you know what I mean, that everything revolves around.
But you know what, putting yourself in, like, because you're just in the situation, yeah, not because you wanted it, but because it's just happened.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can see it from the A-list celebrities side now, because the way the media spin things is crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the amount of just hearsays and whatever come out. What's the funniest thing you've heard so far?
Well, the only hearsay that I need to address, and I have addressed it in print, is that having told me all of this stuff, I obviously spoke to my direct line manager and I said, okay, I guess we're going to have to do the press release. He's like, yep, just let me know what you want to write. I said, write the truth. Write that I've asked you about my new contract, being as all this stuff that's happened. Go away and ask the bosses and let me know the situation. Now they've told you then they're not renewing my contract, I'm surplus to requirements. Write that. That's the truth. He said, okay, I'll write what you want. You know, I could just put that you decided to leave. And I said, no. Don't put I decided to leave. Because I'm not deciding to leave. You're deciding to make me leave. So write that. I said, okay, no problem. You know, within an hour, there's a statement out there saying that I've stepped down, therefore I've decided to leave.
Wow.
That I need to deal with, because that's not the case. I was told my contract was not going to be renewed. That's life, that's the business. My current contract, obviously they wouldn't let me finish it. Fair enough, that's the business. But 279 ain't no quitter. You know what I mean?
Hell no.
So that bit there did annoy me. And you know, I had a chat with him on Thursday, 26th. And I said that, you know, like, I asked you not to write that. But again, he said, look, you know, someone upstairs said, this is what I got to put. So that's why I had to put. So I'm just making it known. I didn't walk out. I got told, you got to go now. So, you go. That's it.
Okay, just another question, yeah? And
Yep.
we don't have to go too much into this or anything, because it's just what it is, and it's just what's out there. But, was Westwood put on the station before your contract? Well, before you were told or after?
Before.
Before, right?
Yeah.
So, because it's Westwood, like, there's no feelings or anything towards that, right?
It's the business, like I
That,
said. Put it this way, when you work in this game, people will view you differently. And everybody's looking for the next best thing, the next biggest thing. And obviously, someone upstairs decided that maybe he would be a better option. So, I'm no longer there. That's life.
for sure. Now,
I'm not bitter and twisted about it. And it doesn't matter who it is. Like I said, my only thing that I was, and I've said this before to my line manager, I think, having done all of the things I've done for you guys, all the work I've put in, the dedication, you didn't have to play me like that. But as I said earlier, someone didn't agree with that, and that's life. Got to take that on the chin.
well, for whatever it's worth, I completely agree with you. And I do think the amount of dedication you gave Choice FM, you shouldn't have been done like that. So, you know, what is it? But it is what it is, and you said it's the business. It is the business. And a lot of people on the streets as well who are getting into the music business don't understand it. They take things personally, when a lot of the times it's just like it's over your head. You know what I'm saying by it's over your head? And there isn't that much loyalty in the game. There's loyalty, but there's not that much. So, like, well, Friday night flavors. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna keep going down, right?
What do you mean?
I mean, we're still gonna do flavor of the month, and that's still gonna happen, right?
I'm not about to disagree tomorrow.
All right. And as you know, like 279 has brought you enough exclusives over the years, like enough exclusives. And I know personally how hard it is to bring these kind of exclusives to your door. 279 and everything he has done for UK hip hop and for music and the whole of hip hop in general. 279.
Yes.
Is there anything like? Actually, no. I've got to ask you something as well. Like, let's reflect on some fun times. Like, what was the most funnest thing about being on Choice FM?
Getting the chance to go on every week and play people the tunes that I'd managed to get out of people, or harass them for this music so that the masses could hear it.
Perfect. What's next question? What is your favourite moment about being on a pirate radio station before Choice FM?
The same.
What was the favourite thing about it, though? Wasn't there something else
the
different
freedom
from Choice to the Pirates that you like?
Not to me.
No?
The freedom to express yourself the way I wanted to is the best thing about it. Because there's nobody controlling what songs I played. There was no one ever trying to control the songs I played, or the artists I would have on, or the interviews I would do. It was solely my choice. And that, on the pirate stations or on illegal radio, to me, as a DJ who has a passion for music, that's the best gift you can have.
Alright. Okay, who would you say is, like, there must be a couple of people that you know that you want to shout out because they had your back over the years, and you know what I mean? Like, people that you know that mattered in your career, you know? Who helped you maybe avoid a wall or two, you know?
Well, Steve Rem definitely has to get a shout. My boy Khalil, who currently lives in Tooting, like, he's the guy when we were younger who had the turntables and I used to be around his house all the time trying to learn how to do it. So yeah, shout out to Mr. Cranston, I have to shout him up. Steve Wren, like I said, you know, one of these people who allowed me to make the step into the legal world. There's a guy called Lance. He was one of the first people to ring me up when I was doing pirating, saying, "You're pretty good. I like what you're doing. You've got that thing." Des Parks is another guy. For those who don't know, he compiled a lot of the Rare Groove albums and some of the Master Cut stuff from back in the days. You know, he was another guy when I used to be doing the pirates. Remember, you know, me and EZ were like the younger ones, and he'd be like, "Yeah, you two could do good." But you know, he sort of took me on his wing a little bit more. He started to play me a lot of the breaks that the artists were sampling at the time, and just kind of gave me a real background knowledge to where the music came from. And you know, we still talk today, eternally grateful for that. I guess it allowed me to know more than if I hadn't met him. Do you know what I mean? So he's obviously important. All the people that had been on the show over the years, Baby K, McFarlow, Crazy McFarlow, Jane Flame, gotta love her as well, Trouble Double Girls. You know, all those people played a part. My current assistant, Lucy, you know, she's got to get a mention as well. But then you've got other people, the people who just believed in you just because they believed in you. You know, you've got people like Pogo, Cutmaster Swift, you know, kind of took me under their wing in terms of the art of DJing. Once again, I'm grateful for that. You know, and there's so many people that know me. Like, I like things to be real.
Yeah, but
so,
you know, because it's just a chapter closed, so I thought it would be nice for you to, you know?
Yeah. I respect the people who just tell me when they're not happy.
For sure.
And then we can have a discussion about it and move on. As opposed to this sort of pent-up negative energy sometimes that revolves around. So those are like some of the people. I'm sure I've forgotten some, because there's a long list of people who've helped out in different ways. I'd probably have to sit down and really think about it to probably get everybody, because you know, you sort of go through different stages, and then it's usually easier to remember the beginning, and it's always easier to remember the end. But then there's loads of people, loads of platforms that you stepped on. You know, you think of people like, sorry, I forgot to mention Big Ted as well, because he's been on the show as part of the show. People like, say, Caroline McKindy, real hard businesswoman. You know, she's one of the people like, look, people like what you do. You need to start, you know, she'd be prodding me like, come on. Because I'm just a humble guy, you know, I'm not trying to be Mr. Flipping famous and, yeah, look at me. I'm just trying to do what I want.
Why don't you understand that? You are a brand.
Because I was on a mission to do something.
Yeah, 279 real. Today, you do understand that you are a brand of some sort, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you do know that this brand is a actual brand. Like, you could plug it on a t-shirt, sell it. You can, so, like, you got to understand that you are something. You know, the amount of years of work that you've put into this brand, 279. You know, I think it comes to a point where you have to, even though you are like, you like to keep it simple, which is a great thing in life. Believe me, like, people don't understand that simplicity is the key to the greatest creativity in the world. But you have come to a point which I think you got to understand that you're sitting on a huge brand. And at this point, these many people would be telling you this. because of the potential of what that brand is. You hear what I'm saying? So you can't change what you are, my brother. No matter how much you want to dim it down, you can't change what it is.
I'm not trying to change it.
But you're trying to, but
it is what it is. But you have to understand how I look at things. Like, I don't know. 2 weeks ago, I was at the Boom Bap Festival, playing music, people spazzing out, having a great time, DJing for K9 and the Hoochie New crew, and that's great. Once I finish that, I will have a small moment of looking back and going, yeah, that was well done. Immediately after that, my mind is focused on the next thing and the next thing and the one after that. I don't really stay in that position too long. So actually, some people have inboxed me some proper essays of stuff that I don't remember, but it's not at the forefront of my mind until they say something. I'm like, oh my God, I do remember that. And it's not like I don't respect it or I'm not proud of it, but I just always feel that if you spend too much time looking at everything you've done, you're not spending enough time looking at what you're trying to do. So I'm just trying to do. That's just me. Perpetual motion.
For sure. I hear that. that. But you're like your brand is like McDonald's of the UK hip hop world, so I'm joking, I'm playing. Look, what I'm saying is though, okay, so on regards to this 279 brand and stuff, have you got any future plans of where you wanna take this now? What's the next level? Like, I know you still got a time to think about it, but like, what do you want to do? Because you know this is a chance for you to do whatever you want to do.
It's always been there though.
Of course.
Put it this way, the plans I had last week are no different to the plans I got this week. They're no different. And you might
I'm
laugh.
dying here. Like, seriously?
Yeah. I'll explain that. I'll quantify that statement. Okay. Sometimes people find themselves at the crossroads or in a little quandary. And then what they do is they go, oh, right, I need to step my game up. I now need to start doing, and I now need to start doing, and I now need to start doing. And what that means is you should have been doing, and you should have been doing, and you should have been doing. Yeah, baby. Right. So as I said to you before, I never ever took it for granted, and I'm not someone who half steps. So all the things I was trying to do last week are the same things I'm trying to do this week. The only difference between last week and this week might be I might have to knock on a few radio station doors and see if anyone's interested in hiring me. And the only reason that's different is because it wasn't there last week. So I know that sounds odd, but that's just how I look at it. It's like if you're sleeping, if you're gazing, then you're not trying hard enough. Right. Do you know what I mean? So lots of people have written messages in public and to me, and that word of consistent has been mentioned a lot because that's the key to everything I've tried to do, to be consistently good at what I'm trying to do, consistently execute and consistently do it properly. Doesn't mean it will always go properly, but there's a lot of thought goes into anything that you see of mine. There's thought behind it. So I try to always look ahead. I have got some things I've been working on, but I'm not one to talk. I'm one to do.
And that's the way you should be. That's
yeah.
Perfect.
So when people say, what are you going to do tomorrow? I didn't tell you what I was doing last week. So what am I going to tell you today? I'm just going to go and do it. And then when it's ready, then I'll say, right, this is what's about to happen. And I know it's all set. And then away we go.
For sure. All right. Big shout to everyone who's tuned in and listening. I see you all. I'm really sorry because I got a couple messages of how comes the phone lines are off. It's because the situation, I didn't want people to call in and just be, you know what I mean? It's about the moment for a minute. So apologies for that, but bang, I'm sure that we can get 279 again on here and he can actually answer questions later on in the near future. But love the fact that everybody's locked on and showing so much love to 279, because seriously, he's a big movement in himself. 279, is there anything else you would like to tell the people and the supporters that have supported you for so many years and, you know, kept that going? Do you know what? If I go into the other room, I can find you a couple of tapes with your old shows and shit.
That won't be necessary.
Alright, so those fans,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the fans, you know,
Okay.
because the fans and the supporters are
Yeah.
the most important, intricate part of this.
Yeah. I can explain. Look, I'm a fan of hip hop culture in general.
Right,
I did everything that I did from a fan's perspective.
right.
The kind of things that I would want to see, the kind of people that I would want to hear what they got to say, the kind of songs that I would love to hear. So I just do it from a fan's perspective. So in many respects, reading a lot of the messages, and you know, my phone would go off with a text message, and you look at it and you go, who's this? This number's not saved in my phone. Yeah, just came up. Read it.
Oh,
You have to read it out loud because it's got cursing in it. But by reading stuff, I don't know who that person is.
right, for real.
But you know, I used to read my number out on the radio and say, look, if you're a rapper and you got music, here's my number, just holler at me. So lots of people got my phone number.
You know, I can't like put away the fact that people are going to think like that anyway on the text message, and
Well, that's what I'm saying.
you know, alright, for the people who want to know, because I don't give a shit, I'm gonna say it. But basically, got a message saying F Choice FM 279 for like blah blah. Now, see, the thing is, like,
Yeah,
don't get
I've
into
just
the
been-
media attention of all the things that are happening, but like, you can't help the way people feel. You know,
No.
the audience feel.
But that's because-
you are like you're like furniture in their home. Some people.
Yeah, I get that.
You know,
I do,
you're like
I do.
EastEnders, homie. That's- you know, I've planned it. I've said, okay, EastEnders while I'm having dinner, catch up with a couple of little bit of work, bang, da 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 da, and now the rotation's spoiled. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know how English life is. For
Yeah,
British
man.
people, we
Like
need
I
some
said.
structure.
Like I said, I'm a fan. I've done it for the fans of the music. So if you take something away from the fans, they're not going to be happy. Unfortunately, my radio show's been taken away from them, so they're not happy. But I do need to say, you know, I just got so many messages. Like I said, I can't believe it. I've tried to respond to them all. I haven't got through them all, but I'm responding to each one of them. All the stuff people have written. I don't think when it's you, then you will understand. Because when it's me and I'm looking, and like I said, I'm like, these people are, wow. That's all
Do you know
can
what?
say.
You can't even think. Because this is just my opinion on it. This is nobody else's. This is straight sin right now, yeah? So no one gets shot for this. I get shot for this. But seriously, I can't even see the audacity of the way it was spun and the way it went from one thing. Like, the summer of 2013 has been crazy. Like, it's literally crazy. You not notice it's been, like, nuts. Madness. I think the heat got to people's heads. But, seriously, we're not used to it. But Westwood getting, departing from Radio 1, and then, like, 279 departing from Choice FM. And before all of that, like, Capital buying out, like, there's a huge circle where the people don't understand, and people are having a lot of opinions and stuff, and they just don't understand. Literally, it's just business, you know? It's corporate bullshit, and that's what it is. Like, you can't. They're not a fan of the music. They're a fan of the money.
Mm-hmm.
You hear what I'm saying? Right or wrong?
Of course. Look, you can't. If you're an exec in a company, and I've said this a few times this week, an executive in a company has to make the right decision for the company. They are not going to make the decision 99 times out of 100 with any consideration for the persons or person who may be affected by that decision. 9 times out of 10, they pretty much have to be fairly ruthless and do what they think is best for the company. And on this occasion, I'm a victim of one of those decisions. Life goes on, man.
For sure.
Because as much as I love Choice FM, and I'm grateful for the time that I was there and all the things I was able to do, I've been all around the world DJing. I've met thousands and thousands of people. I've seen, real impoverishment through my ability to DJ and being on Choice. I'm very grateful for it all. So I'm not about to sound bitter and twisted, which is, I think, what some people would rather hear. But it's like, nah. Nobody, I don't think, will probably ever work for one radio station playing hip-hop for a couple of decades.
For sure.
It's probably never going to happen. So, being as I'm the guy who did that, why am I going to be mad? I gave all of you lot my best. I spent money that I didn't have to put certain things in certain places because I felt it needed to be there. But that's because I'm a fan of it. And I just done what a fan would do. And all the other extra little stuff, the open mics and the competitions and, just basically, like you said earlier, being a door that you can come and knock. You can call me. I'll come listen to your music and I'll try and do my best. I keep it real. If I don't like it, I tell you I don't like it. If I say I'm going to play it, I'm going to play it.
For sure.
If I don't like this tune, I'll still listen to the next one.
He's told me many times that you don't like my... So,
but
it's what it is. It's life.
I tell people it's not personal, but you have to kind of stand for something. And I think that everybody should put forward the things that you like.
Of course.
Especially being a specialist DJ. That's what you're paid to do. That's what you're asked to do. So I just put out the stuff that I like. I put forward the things I like. And loads of people said, why you manage me along the way? And I say, no. Because I'm not here for you. I'm here for everyone. Right. So if I manage you, that would mean I can't do as much for blah, blah. Or blah, blah. And I can't have that. I need to be able to help him if he needs it. Or her if he needs it. Or him if he needs it. So therefore, if you need some help, you need a phone call to be made, you want some advice, or you want me to take you somewhere, don't worry, man, just call me. If I can do it for you, I'll do it for you.
For sure. And brilliant attitude, man. Brilliant attitude.
Yeah.
And this is the reason for why you have done so much. It's because of this humbleness, because of the mentality that you have, which I have to, definitely salute you for. 100. Alright, so, 279. Anything else you would like to close this off with? Any other anything else you want to get off your chest, or anything in your head that you feel the audience should know?
I'm not planning on going away. I look at it as a setback. We have to be honest with ourselves. I may not end up on some FM dial playing hip hop, because that's just the reality of it. But I certainly will try. And if I get another chance to rock the airwaves, I'm going to come back and do exactly what I was doing before. Unless, of course, the opportunity won't allow me to do that. So that would be another decision. But if I'm coming back playing hip-hop, I'm going to do it the same way. And I'm going to try just as hard to represent. Like reading the countless messages, all these Facebook groups and just messages. I couldn't even read them all at once because I felt like I'd lost for hip hop. But then at the same time, I realised I've lost for them as well. So that makes it doubly difficult. So that's why someone trying to put a message out telling me I'm a quitter, I ain't having that. I don't quit.
You actually got a message saying you're a quitter?
No, I'm saying the radio station saying I stepped down.
People thought that, or
no.
Actually...
If you say the person stepped down, to me, that means they've quit.
Okay, right, of course.
So, I don't quit. I haven't finished yet.
For sure.
So, So if you're listening, don't worry, man. I'll be trying. They may never come to fruition, my efforts, but I'll be trying somewhere, somehow.
Well, I think it's a new world for you. Anyhow I can support you, I'm there. And you know what? The whole of the UK hip-hop community is going to be with you anyway. So it don't matter. The story is going to still continue. And, watch out for what's next. That's all I'm saying. Whenever it does. Hey, it's 279, baby. Alright, listen.
I love that jingle.
Which, huh?
279, baby.
Yeah, man, that's how you do it. Like, you gotta tell them. Alright, you gotta tell them. You gotta have a voice, homie. Alright, listen. Hey, big shout to everyone who's tuned in and locked in, for real. I see you. I haven't even been hitting you back today. My apologies. I've got a lot of good feedback as well and messages for 279. Keep him coming in, even if he says no. Tell him what he is, and let him know it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You get me? And you know what? Everyone needs to start calling him the big homie. For real, for real. You can't refer to him as anything else anymore. You know what I'm saying? All the little dogs and everyone, refer to him that. Anyway, big shout to everyone who's tuned in. Hey, Tuesdays, you know, drama show. Boom, boom, boom. Make sure you catch that. Big shout to Siggy Bad Boy. Big shout to Sophie Below Sparks. Ibiza Hot Radio, New York Hot Radio. We're getting it in. My next show, we're interviewing Egyptian. And next week, we got Magic Don 1. Who, if you don't know who that is, like, this interview is going to be hilarious. So make sure you stay tuned in to Bombay Hot Radio, London Hot Radio, or whichever one is your favourite. And, yo, have a great day, London City.
Hey yo, it's Talib Kweli, the BKMC, Mr. International. I go all across Asia, all across the UK, all across Europe, straight from Brooklyn, New York City. It's Talib Kweli, Mr. International, rocking with DJ Sin. It's Bombay Hot Radio. Check out this new joint with Ryan Leslie. Outstanding.